Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4000 Week Reich. Now, it's been a little bit since we've played HoI 4 in general, but mainly 1000 Week Reich in particular. And, let's see, the last time we did that was with the South Africans, in which we overthrew our white colonial oppressors and established a union of Soviet Southern Africa. I forget what the exact acronym was. I had fun with it. I'm not sure if you guys enjoyed it quite as much, but, you know, that's okay. Not all of them are going to be winners. I thought I had some fun. Hopefully you guys did too. But I want to hop back in to 1000 Week Reich. Mainly because I haven't played HoI 4 in a while, and 1000 Week Reich seemed like a nice little warm-up. But they also had a update drop. Rome und Jerusalem. Jerusalem? I don't know how it's pronounced in German exactly. They had an update drop a while back. I haven't been able to play a lot of HoI 4 lately, so now that I have the time and the resources to do so, I want to go ahead and hop in and play it again. I tried playing it a little earlier, but I don't think the patch properly updated. I'm currently on a previous patch. I think the new DLC dropped today. Czechoslovakia. Something or other. DLC. I've been paying attention to the mainline HoI 4, but I do know that we have some fine Middle Eastern options to check in on. Now, there is the Israel or the Palestinian option to look at, but, you know, it's been in the news a bit too much. I think I want to check out something else a little less controversial for an American like me to cover. So, of course, we're going to Iraq. That's a bit of a joke to make things to be clear. So, let's take a look at Iraq. The jewel of the Fertile Crescent, the cradle of civilization, Iraq is a young nation, and its history has been riddled with coups and counter-coups. After the Anglo-German armistice of 1940 foiled a coup attempt by the pro-German fascists in the Golden Square, the nation has been relatively stable. However, with a resurgent fascist and socialist having plans to build a new order in the Middle East, the monarchists have plans of their own to redraw the borders in ways that would better suit the crown. The balance stands on a knife's edge. The young Prince Faisal will soon claim his throne from Regent Abd al-Ilah, but will the nation he inherits support him? Well, there is only one way to find out. I'm also interested in playing one of these other two, so if you guys have any, or any of these really, I want to hop into Iraq, just because that seemed like a little fun, basic tester, you know, dip my toe in the water. But if you guys want to see any of these, go ahead and leave in the comments section below. And while you're there, tell me your thoughts on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I'm sure the comment section will handle that just fine. No issues to be had there. Oh, that's a joke, by the way. Please don't start a Middle Eastern flame war in the comment section down below. Or do. I might have to delete the comments, so. Anyway, let's go ahead and get her started. It's been a while since I've played any HoI 4, so I'm a little excited. I have a very makeshift little setup going for me right now. I'll count some recent developments. Not fully settled into a new place yet, so just kind of hanging out here and making do with what I got. Declaring a special military operation. Wonder where they got that. That sounds Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get my timer started in the meanwhile. My awkward jokes probably aren't landing at this point. I'm a little rusty doing these long-form LPs, so just bear with me. Whether I was any good with them to begin with, I guess is up to you guys to argue. Got 25 minutes on the clock. First off, I'm ready to play. I think I got everything sorted. Sitting in the ancient region of Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, Iraq was an Arab Hashemite kingdom, established following the 1920 Iraqi revolt from the ruins of the fallen Ottoman Empire. Initially ruled directly as a British mandate, Iraq gained its official independence in 1932, following years of negotiations and diplomacy, though the British retained significant influence in the country's economy. When Britain declared war on Nazi Germany in 1939, dissent began to bubble in the young kingdom, as the Anglo-Axis War seemed to provide the chance for Iraq to free itself from British domination. This was not to be, however, as a spectacular defeat of the Anglo-French forces in Europe led to the surrender of France and the Anglo-German armistice of 1940. Groups such as the Golden Square that had been plotting a revolt now found themselves vulnerable, and a crackdown by the region's loyalists combined with concessions to the Iraqi population drove the group underground, at least for the time being. However, one revolt prevented does not save a waning empire. The weakness of Britain was shown for all the world to see, with its humiliating de-escalation with Germany, causing the illusion of an invincible power to shatter. Watching nations such as India break free, dissent has again bubbled up. And while under control for now by the regent and his British backers, revolutionary and reformist forces, with much to divide them, but united in opposition to Abd al-Ilah and his Anglo-American overlords, swirled beneath the surface, inspired by the extraordinary success of the European fascist movements. Nobody knows what the future will bring for Iraq and whether or not the young king will live to see the throne, but many question whether the old protector of the Middle Eastern order in London now has the strength to maintain the status quo. Some radical solutions have been afloat, including strengthening the country by working with its Hashemite partners in Jordan, but what is almost certain is that there will be much change in the region in the near future, and Iraq risks getting caught in the sandstorm. An interesting time for Iraq. Well, let's get working on some research. We'll start off basic, some mechanical computing, and let's get some construction going as well. Let's get some civilian factories built up. Let's have a little basic base in Baghdad, and then move on to Mosul. Don't really have much in the way of factories going now, do we? We'll go basic. We'll do war rifles. It says we need close air support. Do I want to start off with close air support? I suppose I don't. It doesn't matter. Let's do some close air support as well. We don't have many factories to trade, so we're just going to deal with that deficit. You know, we have a national focus we can set. And we can go ahead and get working on the new year, but the old rivalries. A new era begins in Iraq. The Hashemite kingdom remains divided with an ongoing rivalry between the regent Abd al-Ilah of Hejaz, the young king's uncle and representative of the monarchy, and the parliament dominated by the powerful politician Nuri al-Said. In the midst of this, British meddling continues, while among the people, quiet dissatisfaction against the status quo bubbles under the surface. There is work to be done to restabilize the country and bring Iraq into the modern era. Well, let's hope and see if we can do that. While we're here, we got some stuff to check out for the basic lore. First off, we have Nuri al-Said, our leader. In the entire short history of the Iraqi kingdom, many influential politicians have come and went. Yassin al-Hashimi and Hikmat Suleiman come to mind. Before I continue, any apologies to any Arabic speakers watching this video. If you're Iraqi, your special apologies for being American and butchering your language. No, it's not the worst thing we've done to your country, but it can't be good. It's not good salt to rub in the wound. I apologize. I'm trying my best, but I can barely speak English, so you'll just have to bear with me. But none of these compared to perhaps the single most important figure in Iraqi politics ever since the nation received its independence. Nuri Pasha al-Said was born in 1888 to a rather unremarkable middle-class family living in the Ottoman Baghdad. Al-Said graduated from the Ottoman Military College in 1906, partaking in numerous conflicts such as the Italo-Turkish War and the First World War. After being captured by the British in 1915, al-Said would defect to the Allied side, swearing loyalty to Emir Faisal of Hejaz, and fighting in the Iraq revolt against the Ottomans, leading the Arab troops who took Damascus from the retreating Ottomans in 1918. Al-Said would fight for Faisal's doomed Syrian kingdom, but was eventually forced to follow Faisal to Iraq after the French invasion. A trusted ally, Faisal al-Said, would serve in numerous government positions, building up the Iraqi army before finally being appointed prime minister for the first time in 1930. One of al-Said's first acts would be to sign the widely unpopular Anglo-Iraqi Treaty of 1930, effectively cementing Iraq's position as a British protectorate. Since then, al-Said has been widely regarded as a puppet to British interest, and while recent negotiations regarding Iraq's share in its vast resources have been met with optimism, the people are still tired. Al-Said has served as prime minister 6 times already, totaling 12 years of Iraq's 30-year history. When will the time for change come? Well, we'll have to wait and see. The ruling ideology we have as well is Hashemite Pan-Arabism. Originating from the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire, Hashemite Pan-Arabism is an Arab nationalist political movement associated with the ancient Sayyid Hashemite tribe, seeking to unite the Fertile Crescent under a single political entity ruled by the Hashemite dynasty. It emphasizes a secular shared culture, historical and linguistic identity among Arabs, and more specifically, Levantine peoples. Excellent. So we have a couple guys. We have Arshad Al-Umari as our Minister of Economy, Mustafa Mahmoud Al-Umari as our Minister of Security, Ali Jadat Al-Ayubi as our Foreign Minister, and Nouri Al-Said as our Head of Government. We got some basic stuff, nothing too crazy, really. A couple military guys down the bottom. And some political statuses. I forget what... It's been long enough, I forget what these are called. Modifiers, I'll call them right now. I know I'm rusty, this is embarrassing, just bear with me. First off, we have an unpopular monarchy. Now mostly seen as puppets of the British under the reign of Regent Abd al-Ilah, the Hashemite monarchy has long lost its status as a leading voice for Arab unification. The Hashemites are unable to re-cement their leadership of the Arab nationalist movement. They risk losing what they have worked so hard to build. And we wouldn't want that. Next, we have an unstable nation. Iraq is a rather young nation, comprised of many different ethnic groups and social classes which lack a common national feeling. These issues are to be fixed. Iraq must decide what direction it is to take. Next, we have the Sunni-Shia divide. Despite what many think, the Shias of Iraq are actually the country's largest ethnic group. Despite this, the political elites are dominated by the Sunni minority, with the Shia populace angry at their lack of representation. Next, we have the British-controlled oil industry. Not fun, is it? While recent negotiations to increase Iraq's share in the extraction of petroleum on its soil have been taking place, the country's oil industry is still largely controlled by the UK, with only a small percentage of the profits going to Iraq itself. Next, we have allied landlords. A nice reduction in consumer goods factories, but everything else kind of sucks. Iraq's economy is still modernizing in many parts of the country. Feudalism is still widely practiced, with rich landlords forming a very powerful aristocracy. For now, these landlords support the current government, but as the populace living on their lands get angrier, the situation might change. Next, we have the Accord sphere. So we're in the Accord, sort of, and just trading stuff there. Nothing too crazy or really too important. Alright, let's go ahead and get these units assigned if I can. There we go. Be a little finicky with me. For Field Marshal, we'll go with... we'll do Ghazi Mohammed al-Dagestani. And for a general, let's go ahead and go with Abdul Karim Qasim. I don't know what path I'm going to do quite yet, so do not ask me. I'm not sure. But we can put these guys on the Syrian border. Why not? Yeah, that probably works. Starting situation, we have the geographical region of Palestine, all in the Toronto Accord. All as direct puppets of the United Kingdom, even, while Jerusalem is owned or occupied by the British. All right. Let's take a look at... We have some decisions to look at, so we should probably go ahead. We have some standard weapons developments and UN stuff, which I believe is more or less standard. But we have the Middle East Cold War, which we don't have much relating to yet, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. As the eyes of the world focus on the Nazi conquest of Europe and the changing orders in East Asia, a new conflict has risen amid the changing tides in the Middle East. The increasingly growing calls for political change against the British-backed monarchies and French colonial republics. New revolutionary movements have been forming, mimicking the fascistic movements of Europe and the rise of left-wing nationalism in Asia. Amidst this political upheaval, the world's most valuable resources lie beneath the desert sands, and control of this black gold equates to control over the world's economy. All this upheaval has attracted eyes of major world powers, be them capitalist, fascist, or socialist. The Middle East's future lies on a knife's edge, and many ask, when the old order fades, what will rise from the ashes? That's a good question to ask. Following that, we have the oil industry. This new era, oil is an increasingly crucial resource. Continued access to oil, so-called black gold, is a fuel of modern economies and armies alike, and therefore a necessity for the modern world. To maintain our continued access to this vital resource, we must fund expansions of drilling in locations where oil reserves exist. Well, we'll have to get there when we get there. We don't have much there. How do we have... What do we have for resource at the start? We have an okay amount of oil, pretty much all of which is owned by the British, so that's not so great. But let's see if we can't get something going to improve our situation. And we have unpaused. We are at it. China leaves northern Vietnam. We are out of fuel. Well, it's not like we have much we can do there right now, is it? Let's renegotiate some oil deals in the meanwhile. Leveraging our government's friendly relations with the British, we can push them to renegotiate the oil deals in our favor. We will offer to let them maintain privileged access, but in return for our continued loyalty, provide us with more control over our oil industry and more of the revenue. Come on, Britain. Well, let us go. Let us go our own way ever so slightly. I'm not quite sure which path I want to go down. Well, there are two different options. There's a revolutionary route, which then breaks off to the Ba'athist or the fascist path. And then there's the monarchy path. I think I'm probably leaning towards the normal monarchy path, but we'll have to see what happens and what will get us there first, isn't it? Once we do this, we can get working on the development office as well. So we have some good options going for what we want to do. Well, let's get started in the meanwhile. And right off the bat, our general's falling ill. That's just great, isn't it? Iran is going through some troubles right now. Sure, there's some witty political commentary I could think of, but I'm just gonna leave that sleeping dog laying down. I'm not gonna touch that with a 20-foot pole. This is already iffy enough, isn't it? Next, let's write the economic boom. Recent years, particularly in the rapid expansion of oil demand, have driven economic growth within Iraq. For now, no policy changes are needed. We can simply ride the success of our economy, which is bringing investments to the country and to flow wealth into government coffers. Surely the people will be satisfied. Right? Right? We'll have to wait and see. In the meanwhile, let's get working on more of those computing machines. Now we have the Spanish-Morocco conflict. What do Let's get industrial concern off the bat, get some more construction speed going. It's probably the best play all around. And yeah, here we go. Zooming along. Oh. It would seem, the constitutional government is not doing too hot. The National Unity Government's probably gonna prevail over here. I don't know if that's good or bad for us necessarily. We'll just have to wait and see. In the meanwhile, let's get working on a development office. Iraq is a country that is resource-rich, but generations of mismanagement and foreign rule have left the country underdeveloped and poor. A new development office will be built tasked with developing the economy into that of a modern nation. It will both boost wealth from oil production and use those profits to fund infrastructure and developmental aid across the country. That all seems like good stuff to focus on the start of things. Mongolia officially rejoins China. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Next up, let's go ahead and get working on more of them computing machines. Why not? And it looks like Morocco has fallen. Not a big shock there, is it? Still hate to see our Arab brothers done dirty like that. Got a development office done. We have a couple options from here that might be good to look at. We could do oil specialization or do economic diversification. The ports and a lot of this stuff seems pretty good potentially. It's very oil-centric, but then again, oil would be pretty good right about now. We'll start off with farming subsidies. I don't think I'll make the decision quite yet. I'm kind of leaning towards oil specialization, though. The chromium and the aluminum would be nice. Start with farming subsidies, get that extra monthly population, and then get working down towards supporting rural areas. Our nascent and underdeveloped agricultural sector needs support to modernize and truly take off. The government will launch a system of subsidies to support investment in farm improvements and modernization. Well, there we go. Let's get it. Oh, look at that. Not sure what this path is again. Omani UN membership. Look at that. This is this guy. Okay. What do we have going on here? Just looking out of curiosity. Alright, let's move on. What do we have going on? Here we have a development office plan. With the increase in oil revenue following Nouri al-Said's renegotiation of the oil contract with Britain, development office, independent from the King and Parliament, has been established to lead industrialization and modernization projects across the country. Alright, so save up some political power, get some nice buildings going. Okay. Easy enough. Simple enough, even. I think... We don't have a core on our bill over here. We have an occupied state. We have a Kurdish area, which Kurdistan's a region of Iraq that witnesses conflict on a daily basis because of Kurdish militias wanting self-determination. Same with Suleimania. A little unfortunate, but hopefully we can try and settle that amicably. Or at least settle that. Central Asian War. I don't remember seeing this. This is interesting. Alright, what do we want to do next? Let's support the rural areas, get some extra building slots and some local power. As we develop the country's economy, urban centers are growing, but we cannot allow rural areas to be left behind. New support will be dedicated towards the development and improvement of rural areas such as rural infrastructure, hospitals, and schools. The elder statesman Nuri al-Said has dominated the Iraqi parliamentary politics since the 1930s, but now it seems like his long career at the top is coming to an end. Following recent developments, large proportions of the Iraqi population have lost confidence in the man, seeing him increasingly as overly deferential towards the British and a conservative, unsuited to the changing times. Even many of his former allies in Parliament and the monarchy have decided that he has outlived his immediate usefulness. In his place, the longtime Minister of the Interior, Mustafa Mahmoud al-Umari, will be appointed as a new Prime Minister. Though he does not represent a significant political change, it's hoped that he will be a fresh face that is more palatable to the people. We hope he does better. Oh, so Albert Einstein has been killed in Jerusalem. Well, that's unfortunate. Britain withdraws the since withdrawal period. Well, we'll see how that impacts things in the region. Alright, we got construction done. Get some computing machines going. And in the meanwhile, a little ahead of time on this. Let's get working on the new generation of rifles. Probably right at the point where we can do that. Congolese membership is going to the UN. Well, that's a little... Man, German space flight. Okay. Oh! Well, it looks like we have some shenanigans about to commence. The Intifada begins. For some time, dissatisfaction has bubbled against the Hashemite dynasty and the Iraqi government. Despite economic growth, living conditions for much of the poor of society have failed to improve significantly. And many are angry at what they see as political stagnation. Most of all, frustration has long existed towards the meddling of the British. Despite small steps towards independence, many still see their nation as a vassal to London. The monarchy and government, seemingly unwilling participants of this arrangement, have only suffered in terms of their appeal. It began with isolated strikes among port workers in Basra, followed by an increasing agitation by radical groups such as the Communist Party. Now a larger series of protests and strikes are spreading across the country, a great intifada, or uprising, against the government by the dissatisfied masses. Inspired by their comrades across the Middle East, the nation is being rocked to its core by this wave of political instability, and the continued stability or even existence of the kingdom is at stake. Ooh, dear. Well, I guess this is an awkward note to leave off on, but it's going to be something we have to leave off on as well. So I'm going to cut this video off here, and I'm going to thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, if not, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. Leave any comments or feedback down in the comment section below. I read all comments I get, and I do appreciate any all feedback you might have for me. Hit the sub button, hit the notification bell to keep updated with uploads as they come out. I mainly upload on weekdays, but I'll do occasional uploads on Saturdays as well. That's going to be it for now, my friends. I thank you all for watching. My name has been Mr. Dogboat333, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye now.